Award, and this video is about Route Builder in its new form in 3.11 of GPX. Let us begin by loading a GPX file. And let me immediately highlight what's changed by loading another GPX file, and you will see that that does not replace the first one, but it adds, and we now have two tracks. Only one is active for editing at any time, and you can switch to the other one by clicking on the edit icon there, and if you want to hide one that's not active, do it with the eye icon. And I can continue and load a third. There is no particular limit there, but obviously each track you load will use up memory. Okay, the real purpose for being able to load more than one track is that you can form your own routes by navigating differently at the junctions, and the way we do that involves several steps. Let me just flip into the plan view. So the first step, well, we can see that there are some areas here with the white markers shown, and that is because the tool has identified that there are some pieces on the track which perhaps could be combined into single points. You can vary the tolerance for that decision with this slider here. I'm just going to leave it pretty much anywhere and merge nearby points, and so those white spots have disappeared because the points that are nearby to each other or nearby to a neighbouring road section have been coalesced or snapped together. And that means we can then move on to the next stop, which is to find the key places. And you can see here, here's a key place, and it's a key place because it's a junction. I could go in a different direction there. We can get a holistic view of the routes by using the route view, and it's in here that we will start to form our own route between these places. Before we do that, we have to split the roads into the component parts, and here you can see road 1, road 2, up to road 15, up to road 19. So here's all the roads listed now, replacing the ones that I'd loaded. The same behavior applies here. You can hide them, show them, and you can, if you want to, edit them as well. I'm just going to collapse that list. I want to focus on the lower part, which should be familiar if you've ever used Route Maker pre 3.11, and we make our own route by clicking on a road and add to route. If it doesn't go the way that you want, you can reverse that route and the arrows will confirm which way that goes round. Just a reminder that that simplifies the drawing of the roads by toggling this little switch here. That can make it easier to see the arrows. So I will go up road 5 now. I can't go up road 5. Why is that? That's because there is probably a small road section here. And indeed, yes, looks like a roundabout. So I have to add road 8 first. And now I can zoom back out and I can add road 5. I get the similar issue here. Add road 7. We'll come back to this thing about clicking on the places, or that you might remember that from Route Builder. So road 19 now, road 4, road 2, another little junction to navigate here, road 14, and then finally road 16 takes me back to my start. You just review that by using the list here. I can flick the arrows to go through the different sections, and that's exactly what I intended. The offset, well, it offsets the track up to 5 meters left or right of the center line. That's essential if you have opposing directions on one piece of road to avoid the ugly head-on collisions in RGT, and also to improve the track rendering. And when we come to where the roads join at the places, there may not have previously been a turn there because we're combining two different routes. So I can set the minimum radius I'd like for that turn, and we will attempt to make that a smooth turn, but you probably want to polish them afterwards. And now make a new track with the route, and there is our new reduced route. It's named by the way that it's formed, so I'll just rename that as Big Loop. And let's have a look at the map, and that's pretty much what I intended. Of course, I obviously would go on to check the smoothness of it, and I may well apply a one-click quick fix, for example, to make it rideable. But in principle, that is all that you need to know about Route Builder. It is possible to undo. I can go back to the route making. I can go back to the previous list of roads that I'd loaded. I can undo the find key places. I can undo the snapping option. I can't undo any further than that, so be careful, don't click the blue button again, or you will lose the active track and then you'll have to load it again. There might be a few rough edges, early days, but I hope you find that useful, and thank you for using GPX Magic.